The only Christmas tree worth having this year is the Tree of Evolutionary Life, now in its limited edition winter form. Grab this limited time poster now while you can. It depicts every single Pokemon and how they'll be related to each other, including the all-new Melmetal. Using the links below, grab one for yourself or for a friend.
Hey Pokemon Masters, Berkey here, and welcome back to another video about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I think next week I'm going to probably do a little bit less on those topics, although there is plenty more videos that I know I can do about it. It's more stuff I want to talk about, that kind of thing. But for now, I want to share with you something I did. And any of you who watched the live stream of me playing the games will know that I didn't exactly stick to the team that I laid out that I was going to do. I did a whole video called My Perfect Pokemon Team, and in it I decided my partner Pikachu was going to be at the head of my team. I was going to use Slowbro because I've always wanted to use a Slowbro. I was going to use Vileplume, a Let's Go Pikachu exclusive. I was going to use Dodrio, a flying type Pokemon, because I am a bird keeper, and Rhydon, a Pokemon that evolves in future games that I didn't want. I prefer Rhydon to Rhyperior. And on top of that, Wigglytuff, a fairy type in Kanto. I've never had that before. I was going to use this team, all unique, all Pokemon that I hadn't used before. And what I wasn't going to use is Pokemon that I had used before, or legendary Pokemon. No. This was it, the perfect team for me for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I don't think I stuck to a single team member. I intended to. I didn't even really want to use the team that I used, but here is what actually happened. Many of you have seen the first 3 parts of the Let's Play, the thing that I did when I got to play the game early, and in that I used Pikachu and Oddish, and of course they both got nicknames. Oddish was called Vileplume, a fun little nickname that a lot of you suggested on Twitter, which would make sense for Vileplume because I just thought it was cooler. And with Pikachu, I thought I was being so funny referencing the Detective Pikachu trailer. I nicknamed it You Can Talk, which is the thing that Tim says to Pikachu in the Detective Pikachu trailer. It's dumb. It wasn't funny. I don't know why I did it. But when I began that adventure, I also, for the first time on the stream, got the Pokeball Go Plus, and I decided I wanted to make the most use out of Mew, and Mew at that point would be level 1, which means it would be really straggling behind, and actually Mew doesn't get any powerful psychic moves until much later in the game, so it wouldn't be overly easy, so I thought, why not? I'm gonna go with a Mew. So I used my Pokeball Go Plus, I got the Mew, I put it in my team, getting the most value for money out of this thing, and I ditched Pikachu as my starter. I actually put up a Twitter poll to see which people would prefer to see Pikachu or Mew as the starter, and 66% of people voted Mew, which I didn't actually nickname until the end of the game, but I settled on the name Mercury, as in Freddie Mercury, and I watched the Bohemian Rhapsody movie lately. I really love it. I watched it twice now. Such a cool film, and I think Mercury is a great name for Mew. So I've got Mew as my level 1 starter, Pikachu has been ditched, and Oddish is going to carry through as Vileplume with the aim to get it to Vileplume as soon as possible, except it turns out Gloom can learn the move Moonblast at level 45, so I wanted to wait till at least then to evolve it into Vileplume so it would have a fairy move on it. So it was pretty much a Gloom for most of the game. Okay, moving on, I get to Mount Moon, where I really want to catch a Jigglypuff, and in fact I do, and I call this Jigglypuff Queen Snooze, as in Team Snooze, and it's the queen of snoozing. It's going to evolve into Wigglytuff, a fairy Pokemon with some fairy type moves. Except it turns out that Jigglypuff doesn't really learn any fairy type moves, and so it's going to be pretty useless. And alternatively in Mount Moon, I also got the rare sighting of a Chansey, and I thought, well, you know what? It's rare and it feels special, so I'm going to catch that. And I called it, instead of Dr. Eggman, because it's a lady Chansey, Dr. Egglass. So I've got Jigglypuff and Chansey on the same team, both serving the same kind of role, except it seems that Chansey is just doing everything Jigglypuff does, but better. And this is my team throughout the whole early portion of the game, and I actually really struggle. I get to Rocky Tunnel, and there I find Rhyhorn. This is it, my chance to catch and evolve it into a Rhydon. Except its levels were much lower than the rest of my team, and honestly with this team that I had so far, a Gloom, a Mew with no powerful type variation moves, a Chansey, a Jigglypuff, and a Rhyhorn, I had like nothing for Erica. Erica's gym actually kept on sweeping me, so very reluctantly while in Rocky Tunnel I caught a Charmander. I didn't want to do this. I've used Charizard so much in the games, but I went ahead and caught it so that I could have some firepower on the team, and eventually I did find the TM for Psychic and Saffron City, gave it to Mew, and between Charmander, or Charmeleon at that point, and Mew, managed to defeat Erica. And at that point, there was only one more Pokemon to add to the team. Snorlax. Now, I didn't want to use a Snorlax. I've used Snorlax so much, and everyone knows that Snorlax is like one of my favorite Pokemon, if not my favorite Pokemon. It's the symbol of Team Snooze. I wasn't convinced I was going to use one, but then I saw the way that you ride Snorlax by holding its belly, and I thought, well, I just gotta. And not wanting to have another normal type on the team, I replaced Queen Snooze with King Snooze, Snorlax. And Chansey, Snorlax, Mew, Gloom, and Charmeleon, as well as Rhyhorn, ended up being my team for the bulk of the adventure. I did try a Dodrio. I caught a Doduo and evolved it pretty quickly, and I was going to use it, only it was so frail, I don't think it ever got a single attack in. I would have called it Dodrio, but I didn't even bother naming it, ended up just back in the box. And at this point in the game, I was so heavily relying on Mew and its psychic attack because a lot of the other Pokemon just weren't well trained. Snorlax was pretty well trained, and Chansey is a bulky Pokemon, so it could take some hits. A lot of the Pokemon just didn't evolve until much later on. Gloom only evolved into Vileplume much later on, and Rhyhorn didn't even evolve into Rhydon until after I had beaten the champion. Thus, it got the name Rhydont instead of Rhydon. This is pretty much the team that I used for the whole of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. In the post-game, I have been using Mewtwo because as a Mew trainer, I felt that it was actually appropriate for once. But yeah, out of my original team, I eventually got the Rhydon after the game was finished. I got the Vileplume, and the other 4 Pokemon completely didn't get. But you know what though? That's kind of fun. This is one of my favorite things about when a new Pokemon game is coming out. I plan out my team, I think about what I want, and it never ends up that way because it goes to show how you can't really know about what's going to happen in the adventure until you get there. It's kind of like how Ash Ketchum on his first day of his journey got up out of bed, sprung out of bed, ready to choose a starter Pokemon, and didn't get the one he wanted, or the second choice, or the third choice. Ash Ketchum ended up with Pikachu, much as I ended up with this weird ensemble of Pokemon. And to be honest, I'm really happy with the team that I have. What was your team in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Please let me know. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And of course, so hi Pokemon Masters.
A massive shout out goes to my incredible patrons, many of who you can see the name of on screen now. Most of all to the big patrons of the month, Yoni, Sobin, and Xavius. If you want to find out how you can support the channel, please check out the links to Patreon in the description below and get some of those sweet perks. Thank you.